For the past couple years, we've been seeing fandoms creating events on Twitter. It didn't necessarily start with the release the Snyder Cut movement or restore the Snyderverse movement, but it sure has been going strong in different avenues since then. The latest is release the Ayer cut. The fandom for that is not nearly as large as the Snyderverse fandom, or I'll even go as far as to say as the Alita fandom that has also attempted to do similar events on Twitter. Now, this past weekend, one of these events was held, and people were excited. They believed it was a win. They had nearly 300,000 tweets. But the thing that people don't quite understand is, when it comes to these movements, the amount of tweets does not necessarily mean how many people are tweeting. For all we know, that could be 5 people tweeting the same thing multiple times. It could be 10 people, it could be 50 people, it could be 500 people. But regardless if it's 50,000 or 10 people, people feel that it was a success, despite not knowing the actual numbers and the true impact of that. Unlike previous regimes and previous management, well, after this event this past weekend, James Gunn actually went on to Twitter and acknowledged this movement and acknowledged the fans and even responded in a way. And this is what he said. Opened up Twitter at the end of a long creative weekend to see the many tweets to save Legends of Tomorrow and release the Ayer cut, and fan support for other DC projects over the years. The majority of these requests were enthusiastic and respectful. As the new and first ever CEOs of DC Studios, Peter, Safran, and I think it's important we acknowledge you, the fans, and let you know we hear your different desires for pathways forward for DC. Although our ability to interact on Twitter has been lessened due to the workload of our new positions, we're listening and open to everything as we embark on this journey, and will continue to do so for the next few years. All our initial focus is on the story going forward, hammering out the new DCU and telling the biggest story ever told across multiple films, television shows, and animated projects. We invite all of the DC fandoms across the multiverse and everyone else as well into this new universe. We can't wait to reveal more. You know, it's crazy because people sit there and act like this is the worst thing that could possibly happen, when in reality it's not. I give James Gunn all the credit in the world for finally acknowledging this fandom, for acknowledging things. That is what we wanted for so long, and we didn't want acknowledgement through the trades where they called out the fans, and that's not what we want. We wanted them to come out and say, look, this is what we're doing, this is what we're planning. And that's what James Gunn did here. He didn't come out and necessarily say, oh, that's it, we're not going to release the Ayer cut. But he also said, our focus is on the future of the DCU. Our focus is on creating an expansive story, and that we should all be excited about that. And I agree. This isn't to say that the Ayer cut won't come out. It very well possibly could. But here's the thing. A lot of people have been listening to those grifters, such as Griftosity and Syllabdul and what have you. And the thing with all of those people are, they're going to continue to tell you that this thing is coming when they don't actually know. From what I understand, Griftosity was saying, hey, it's coming this year. Well, we're in the middle of November. Then we have December, and there's no announcement, there's no hype. It's not coming out this year. That is the reason why there's so many people who get hyped up about things. Not because it's actually happening, but rather because these grifters are telling you that it's coming. So you get hyped, and when something like this happens where they kind of allude that, hey, there's a possibility it may not happen, everyone gets angry and lashes out, and that's where the toxicity has been coming from. James Gunn did a great thing, and we should all acknowledge and thank him for that. This is a great thing to see. Transparency is always a great thing to see. For those of you who are sitting there saying, oh, he's Walter Hamada 2.0, or he's worse than Hamada, we haven't even seen what he's going to do yet. We haven't even heard his plans to a large extent. Just because he comes out and says, hey, we're looking forward, and we're not going to, and he doesn't even say we're not going to release the Ayer cut. He just says, look, we're looking to the future. That doesn't mean it is or isn't coming, but he's at least acknowledged that the fandom wants it. Well, why? I don't get people. I really don't get why people think that is a bad thing. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you think about this whole thing. Do you think James Gunn did us a solid? Do you think this is a terrible thing for him to do? Are you excited about the new DCU? Let me know in the comments. And with all that said, talk to all of you later.